Hello, everybody. I hope this is working good. Sorry if the recording is a little different, a little laggier. I broke OBS somehow, and I have currently... That was definitely a graphical thing that was supposed... Oh my... What the... Okay. Anyway, today we are going to be continuing with our classic mode. I mean, it's not classic mode, but I keep calling it that. We're going to be continuing with that. And I want to take a break from the main quest line to do some side quests that I have access to. Because I think that would be good. I don't know where the Penny Dreadful quest is, but I do know that there's one quest that I'm particularly interested in seeing, and that is the one from this guy right here.
I work for the school paper, the Ravenwood Bulletin. I need an article about the nature of magic. How about it? Want to interview the different professors about magic? Start with Moolender Wu, the life professor.
Okay. So this is all old lore. That is no longer I need to say this 500 separate times. This is no longer canon lore. None of this is canon anymore. This is actually, in certain parts, I think, maybe directly contradictory to information we learn in, like, Arc 3. That being said, I think this lays the groundwork for some pretty interesting concepts, that may or may not, you know, have been entirely scrapped or reworked. Specifically, well, I can't give you any specifics, but, like, there's some concepts here that, are really interesting, and I think it gives the Spiral a little bit of a different vibe in its presentation. So, you know, for headcanon crafting and stuff, if something isn't, like, directly contradictory, but, you know, seems to be scrapped, but it might not hurt anything, you know how it is. You know how it is. Everybody knows how it is for me. Okay.
The nature of the life arts is the very magic of nature itself. Those who practice life magic are known as Thurgists. We call upon fairy creatures to assist in our spells. Our songs promote healing, energy, and vitality. Life magic is a joyous art indeed. Speak with Professor Drake next. He can tell you about the School of Myth. Those who practice life magic are known...
Okay, specifically the word fairy creatures, that's interesting. They kind of... Like, specifically saying fairy creatures kind of implies a weird sort of... Because I would never say, like, the School of Life is associated with fairies, you know, early on with, like, Unicorn Way and stuff, but I wouldn't say that is, like, a defining motif. I'm overanalyzing words, obviously, but what else do you want me to do? Alright.
You want to learn about conjuration? Very well. But I'll only say this once, so listen well. We conjurers study the epics of our ancestors and bring these legends to life. Through our will and strict discipline, we develop the power of the mind.
Professor Drake glares at you.
I can see none of this is sinking in. Don't waste my time. Go bother Professor Falmea instead.
What do you mean you don't think any of this is sinking in? Can't you see the light behind my eyes? Okay. this isn't anything that, isn't really, like... And none of this is, like, too different. It's just interesting.
Practitioners of the fire arts are pyromancers. Like the dragons before us, we have mastered incantations of fire. The ancient dragons created fire magic to battle their sworn enemies, the giants and the tritons. The potency of fire magic is not for the rash. Now run along to Professor Greyrose. I have work to do.
I don't think that's Dahlia's personality. Obviously, not a pyromancer, never been a pyromancer, career storm wizard over here. I remember her being a lot, warmer. So that's interesting. I do kind of feel like there's a vibe here, and maybe it's still in, the game a little bit, of sort of like the spiral's already seen some type of massive shift and change. I think all of these guys have mentioned their ancestors, like originators, and that's like something that is kept like in mind. I feel like it's not really, I don't know, it's an interesting idea. Alright, hi Lydia.
You wish to learn the nature of ice magic, dear? Ice wizards, known as thaumaturges, use powerful chants to beseech aid from the kingdom of ice. The giants created thaumaturgy as a tool and used it to construct great castles in the sky. Good luck with the rest of your research. You should talk to Professor Baelstrom next.
Yeah, again, there was, the thing of Early Wiz stated that, the Titans were races of people. It wasn't the Storm Titan, the Fire Titan, the Ice Titan. It was the races of the Storm Titans, the races of the Fire Titans, the races of the Ice Titans. And I don't think these were groups of people reading is horrible and like super canon contradictory, because I wouldn't view it as a retcon to turn around in Arc 3, make eye contact with the viewer, and go, yeah, so they were wrong. Actually, how the ancient conflict went out was that they were siblings. And that they were all, the children of Raven and Spider, but, they were so powerful and godlike that over the years people assumed that they were a society. I don't know.
Ah, hello there. You wish to learn the nature of storm magic, eh? All right. Storm wizards or diviners use verses to charm and shape sentient energy. We harness and control creatures from the chaos of unchecked wind and lightning. Now, I'm sure you have more research to do elsewhere, so hop to it!
I miss you so bad! Okay, I'm fine. I do love the idea of, like, equating Storm with chaos. Storm is consistently, like, gameplay-wise, the most unpredictable school. You're rolling the dice to see if you fizzle. If you're, like, doing an insane bolt strategy, you're rolling the dice to see if you kill yourself. Which I think is very, very interesting. Obviously, we know that shadow magic is also the art of chaos, but we also know that shadow magic is sort of the underlying base that powers all of the other schools. So I think it makes sense that you can see shadow you can see it in Myth, too. Myth is the magic of imagination. Shadow magic, as far as we know, is more reactive to the user's mind than any other school of magic. So seeing shadow magic's traits pop up in other schools is something that I think is interesting. And again, not intentional, but what am I here for?
Fascinating stuff. I'll send your research notes on magic to the copywriter right away. I'm thinking we need more on history. How about a piece on the magic trees in Ravenwood? They've been here a long time. I think everyone should know their history. It is a big part of Ravenwood.
Right, okay. Let's go to them. I don't think you actually get a chance to converse with the school trees in the new version, unless I'm missing something. There might be a version of this quest in the newer iteration. I don't side quest, unfortunately. I really don't. I think I did Boris's quest on another wizard that I'm playing through for my friend, because they wanted to see the game. All right, hi Possum.
Ah, the history of life magic. Our music is the thread that binds together the universe that is the spiral. Powerful wizards can learn to harness this power and travel to other worlds. Now, go in peace, young wizard, and enjoy life to the fullest.
Okay, so life magic allows you to travel to that's weird as an implication. Describing the spiral as a universe, that makes sense. It does look like a galaxy. It's just a galaxy that has fragments of like a very large planet scattered throughout.
When this world, the first world, was still young, the grandfather tree sang a song that created all the creatures. Fantastic creatures, or monsters, become legends. We study these legends so that we can remember them. Then, through the power of myth, we bring them to life. So you see, the study of history can lead to great power.
Okay. I don't think when he said when this world, the first world, was still young, implies that Wizard City was the first world in the spiral, but that's how he phrased it, which is probably entirely accidental on his part.
Oh, heavens. The history of storm magic? But it's such a sad tale. Well, if you insist, Tritons, the lords of the deep, created the storm arts to harness wind and rain, storm and sea. They used their magic to battle their siblings, the devious dragons and the craven giants. But, sadly, it was not enough. They lost the war, and their once noble art was all but forgotten. Until recently.
Okay, so again, the Tritons were a race, not the demigods. I never noticed that you could see the commons from here. That's... How did I spend my life not noticing that? How did I spend 16 years not noticing that? Okay.
The history of ice magic, huh? It's simple. When the world was very young, the giants ruled the skies. The grandfather tree created them, as well as the ruthless dragons and the craven tritons. The giants built castles in the clouds above and used ice magic to battle the dragons and the tritons.
Again, like, the word here is that Bartleby created the races of, you know, the Titans, which is strange.
Our history is a fiery one, but worth remembering. The dragons, ancient titans of the first world, were the masters of fire. The dragons ruled the land and wanted the sky and sea. But it was not to be. The dragons' siblings, barbaric giants, and the greedy tritons fought against them. To defend themselves, the dragons created the magic of pyromancy. But alas, it was not enough to save them.
Okay, I do appreciate how death magic is still kept sort of shrouded in mystery. I feel like if there were to be a Wizard City rewrite equivalent of this, you would at least be able to go talk to Malorn, and Malorn would sort of give his best explanation, but here, like, it's being completely ignored, which I think... I feel like the way they kind of presented death magic was like they were trying to sort of make you think it was sort of the dark arts, and then later you would sort of learn that no, actually death magic is as normal as all the other schools, it's just a bit macabre. Which I think is interesting, but that's just me.
Gee, great work! I didn't know all that history before. I'm wondering if there's more history we can add to the article. Maybe about the spiral. I'm thinking Gamma the Owl, Headmaster Ambrose, and Bartleby would be good interview subjects. Bartleby's the oldest magic tree, and the Headmaster is not that young either. Plus, Headmaster Ambrose's pet, Gamma the Owl, has studied the spiral intently. Talk to those three, please.
Okay. So, yeah, alright. This is the part I was really excited for. I actually have very fond memories of this specific part of the quest. Like, very, very ingrained in my memory. I'm so excited to see this again.
The model of the spiral is right here. See? Every world is connected along the spiral, even yours. When we learned Wizard City might be in danger, we began looking for a student with great potential. That's how we found you, young wizard.
I know it's short. I know it's really like a short... That's like 3 lines of dialogue, but I think there's something very fun about the concept that Earth is in the spiral. That every world is in the spiral. It leaves kind of a mystery of how big it is, and obviously if it is a universe and the way that we're primarily traveling is through world doors or other such magical mayhem, I suppose. I think it makes sense that nobody would know what really counts as a spiral, and obviously we know now Earth is not part of the spiral. As far as we're aware, Wizard101 Earth is just normal flesh people Earth, which is like, you know, I like that, but I really like the way he says that we found us, that there's something very cute about, like, we found you, yay, you know, like, I always loved the idea of just being fucking welcome here no matter what. Okay, hi Merle.
Ah yes, the spiral was born out of an ancient conflict. The 3 elder races could not stop fighting. The giants, rulers of the sky, stole water from the sea to build their great castles of ice. The Tritons, rulers of the sea, battered the dragons' lands with endless storms. The dragons, rulers of the earth, summoned fire to melt the castles of the giants. The war broke the first world into fragments that spun out into the cosmos. Those fragments became the worlds of the spiral.
Question. Were you there by any chance? Is that the implication that he was, like, there? Because the way he talks about it, he doesn't talk about it with, I feel like, the distance that they give it in Arc 3. He was like, basically, the Elder Race is kind of fucked up. Like, it makes it sound like he was there. Were you, like, hanging out with Bartleby, and Bartleby was like, shit, my kids are fighting. Get in the escape pod, Burl. What am I doing with my life? Okay.
I am one of the oldest living creatures here. In the first world, there was only my sister, the Great Raven, and me. We were made just after the Creator made the land and the sea and hung the stars in the sky. I sang the dragons, tritons, and giants into existence, but my children began fighting each other, splintering the first world. In desperation, my sister and I began to fashion a spiral. With her magic and my roots, we sent the spiral out into the cosmos to hold the shattering fragments together, forming a new world. Headmaster Ambrose discovered me here and founded Wizard City to help me guard the spiral. I could tell you more, but right now my mind is getting a bit foggy. I must rest.
Again, like, the Creator has been completely retconned. That was the one line that we know of him, and he's been completely retconned since. Which is fair. I like the pantheon we have now. I do wonder who the Creator is. It's very possible that, the Creator, even within this little continuity that we're standing in here due to me doing a freaking time warp, time warp is in, I never played this wizard as a child, even within this continuity, it's very possible that the Creator did not exist. From the perspective of Bartleby and Raven are gods. It is very possible that as gods, they just simply spawned into existence, as gods tend to do sometimes in mythology, and Bartleby and Raven simply assumed, as they had the power to create, someone more powerful than them had the power to create the space that they were existing in. Also completely possible that the creators are just the developers. Also completely possible, if you ask 6-year-old me, that is the Christian God that they're talking about. You know, I was, really, into this, niche kind of novel I read as a kid. You might have heard of it. It was called the Bible. Okay, I don't know. Interesting. I really like the amount of, like, stuff that they throw at the wall here in their world building.
That's amazing! I didn't know Headmaster Ambrose founded Ravenwood. There's so much to learn. Thanks, Wizard. Wow, Wizard. This history article is really shaping up, but I think we could use some citations. There's a set of books from the library called A Complete History. Ask the librarian for them.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the quest. We'll follow it to its completion.
What was it you wanted?
The Complete History series? Just a minute, I'll take a look.
Okay. That's it, I guess. Lol. Yeah. So they really did kind of just throw everything at the wall. They had a lot of ideas. I really enjoy the consistent, like, theming of, you know, each school of magic kind of has a biased perspective, and then you go to Ambrose, and he's like, no. All of them were being jerks. I don't know where you got the idea that that wasn't what was going on. I find that interesting. I think that's really, I think it's really interesting. You know, there's a lot of like ideas here, and they're kind of disconnected. I think a lot of what is said is sort of repeated. Like, there's a lot of dialogue there, and I think all of the characters are sort of saying the same thing, but like from their perspective, it's really disconnected. Honestly, I feel like. In terms of, like, what they're talking about. And I think that's, like, kind of... It leads to a weird vibe of... You don't really feel like everybody has a full picture. Because, like, if we go down the list here, the professors in their subsequent school trees, they're biased, obviously. Bartleby literally admits himself that his mind is, foggy, and he doesn't have his eye of history. So is he telling the truth? And then, though Merle talks with confidence and sounds the most credible, Bartleby literally says that they met after all of this happened. So then, oh, there are the fireworks. I guess the question is, who then is telling the truth? I don't know if the fireworks are going to be picking up on camera, so I'm going to stop here. Later, gamers.